Alright then, I was informed by my agent that I in fact will not get the check unless the interview is properly done, and the cameraman in fact forgot to take the lens cap off, so we will have to be restarting this from point one. Of course, my name is Shark Wensleydale, as you know. I'm the very popular producer of the 15 entry series Jurassic Shark, the most recent one of course being Jurassic Shark Train Apocalypse. So in any case, my journey began in 1970 when I went to the hospital for reasons I shall not disclose. I was in the hospital for 4 months. That is where I wrote the script for the first Jurassic Shark movie. Of course, as you are well aware, my first entry was Jurassic Shark, Secret Faucet. The story, as I have in fact told before, is I was originally enlisted into the hospital for only 2 months to get over the situation I was in, but there was an unfortunate mishap in the bathroom where a shark attacked me out of the faucet, inspiring the first movie. It was a rather unfortunate turn of becoming of events, but I decided to take my bad luck and turn it into a multi-million-dollar franchise, you see. So for the next 2 months, as I was recovering from the attack, which, as I'm sure most of the dedicated fans will remember, left me without a pinky toe. But I was able to, of course, take off the pinky toe from the shark and amputate it onto my body. So I was
amputated onto your body.
Yeah, I cannot remember the word. The shark pinky was in fact surgically added to my foot, as the doctors were not able to recover the original pinky. It was a loss that I had to come to terms with, and I in fact came to terms with it in my time in writing the script for the first Jurassic Shark movie, you see. Of course, it was a box office hit, and spawned the next following 14 movies. Of course, we have, in our time in developing these movies, we have gone through many themes and situations. As I'm sure you will remember, Jurassic Shark 8, Attack of the Martian Watermelons. That was a very integral piece of the story. It blew the lid on that. In fact, of course, just in the movie, it's not something that you need to look into the real life, but it may or may not be true that one of our founding fathers was a watermelon. And certainly a few of the presidents have been sharks. Of course, when I divulged this information in Jurassic Shark 3, the underwater adventure, it was Jurassic Park 3, underwater basket weaving, which is when we delved into the topic of the secret underwater shark civilization at the bottom of the ocean. But yes, there was quite a few lawsuits with that, breaking of contract. We had to file a few non-disclosure agreements, which I in fact are breaking right now, but I have zillions of dollars, so why does it matter? I was in Vietnam in 15-14, of course. Of course, they in fact had to reshoot that war and cut out all the sharks. As you know, it was named Vietnam for the attacks, in fact, arming their enemies. They had to reshoot that movie with just humans, and I wasn't interested, so I didn't take part. especially because of the bit of bad mark that Vietnam, the first version, had left me with. You see, a shark had devoured 4 of my fingers back then. Of course, I had to return the favor by chopping off that shark's hands and amputating the 4 fingers of the shark fingers onto my fingers. It was a very traumatic experience without painkillers, but you have to do what you have to do. I'm sure that moment, that bit of pain really inspired my next movie, Jurassic Shark 7, In the Jaws of the Beast, which ironically focused more on the human side of the sharks and the watermelon conflict. As a bit of marketing for our newest one, Jurassic Shark 15, Train Apocalypse, of course, you know, one of the main plot points is the train's absolute disdain for watermelon, and the story revolves mostly around the sharks having to stop the trains from destroying all watermelons on Mars, as we know that they originate from. In fact, as my name being Shark Miginsty, it is a rather unfortunate situation that I have so many uneasy run-ins with sharks, as the other day one happened to steal my brain in my sleep. It was a very unfortunate situation. The missus had to amputate the stolen brain thief shark into my brain, so of course you could say I'm now more shark than man. Then again, my name being Sharkman kind of implied that from the start. My mother always used to tell me that I was related to sharks on my father's side. Of course, when I was simply a baby in a wheelchair, I had to, or not I had to, but I was in the mind to believe that this was one of the simple fairy tales, you know, much like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Queen of England. None of these things really exist. It's you know, simply a fairy tale. But as life goes on, and I keep having very magical journeys with sharks, both in my movies and in real life, I've just had to come to the acceptance that I in fact may be a fish. If you could call sharks fish, of course, sharks are in fact technically lizards. As you will see, as will be confirmed in, well, not will be confirmed, but rather was confirmed in Jurassic Shark 10, the lizard conspiracy. I particularly, of course, as I said at the beginning, we in fact had to roll this again because the cameraman forgot to take the lens off, particularly because he is a shark, and he does not in fact use sight the way we do. I believe they use echolocation of some sort. Yes, I mean, you know, of course, besides for the $14 billion paycheck for doing this interview I get, which I will be picking up after the camera goes off, this is mostly just a marketing bit for my new movie. Go see it. You know, as I said, Jurassic Shark 15, Train Apocalypse. It will be in all the theaters on the ground as well as in the water. I believe we were able to get a few contracts with theaters on the watermelon planet Mars up in there, so you can see that. Of course, it will be a bit delayed. It takes a while for information to get up there. But yes, go see the movie, and I will go be attacked by a watermelon after this. Thank you.